Yo, YouTubers, now, this is a bit of an experiment, right, folks? Right? The camera, if it seems a bit weird, you know, the light or whatever on this camera, it's because I've got the setting on candlelight, because I'm going to do a little experiment with a candle, right? I'll have to turn the telly off and everything so there's no light. Not television, of course, just me monitor, you know. Just turn my computer monitor off there, like. But anyway, the light is like a bit weird on this, a little bit brighter, because I've got the candlelight setting on the camera, right? Because I'm going to film a candle. I'm going to film something to show you something, right? Try and catch it on film. Something I've discovered by accident over the years, right? Now, I'm not a diviner. I don't tell people's fortunes and all that kind of stuff. I don't use stones or rocks for doing any divination of any kind, right? But since I was a child, I've always buzzed off stones, right? You know, should have one in my pocket here, right? And a little bit later on down the line, I'll do some talking about it. You know, look, I always carry that everywhere. That's a Topaz. Look at the state of it. About 75 pence it cost me in one of the head shops in Liverpool, or Quiggins in Liverpool, whatever. It's a Topaz, it's my birthstone, right? It's just a birthstone, right? I don't use that and say, like, oh, give me like extra power and all that kind of stuff, or tell me the future, or who's going to win the Grand National. Divinity or divination, that's like divination. I'll define divination as, like, you know, a gypsy in a fairground that says, cross my palm with silver and all will be revealed, and you give her your money and she tells you a load of crap about who you're going to marry and or whatever, like, you know what I mean? That's divination. Do you understand? There's all kinds of categories. Divination is a way of making money. Magicians are diviners, you know, magicians, you know, people who pick a card, you know what I mean, they use a pack of cards all the time. That's divination, when you're using things like a tool, right? Now, the love of stones and rocks, it's like since childhood, I used to like pick up bits of glass and shape it into it, like make it look like a jewel or whatever. I had this, like, you know, it's just a thing inside me. I wanted to make things, I wanted to make jewellery, a bit like Salvador Dali, the way he makes stuff, you know what I mean? A bit more like that than a conventional jeweller, you know. But I always had that appeal in me, like, you know, precious metals, stones, rocks. Purely as mediums for art, I'd use gold leaf in paintings, for example, and stuff like that, right? So anyway, there's a Topaz. I'll do a speech about that stone later on down the line, when we've done this demonstration video, right? I won't have to be quick, because I've only got half an hour, haven't I, you know what I mean? On the camera, like, you know, like half an hour recording time before it flicks over to the next clip. Right, so anyway, I've got candlelight switched on, right? Now what I've got here is, right, in this glass here, right, is soaked in water, right, is a little ruby, right? Like it was a rough ruby that I bought on eBay, and I cut it in half, and one half of it I cut into a shape, you know, to practice cutting, like, you know, I bought it quite cheap, you know what I mean? I didn't spend a fortune on it, like 10 quid or something, like, but it's supposed to be a ruby, which I've cut in half, and that's the other half of it, right? And what you do is, with stones, you leave them in water, preferably spring water, you know what I mean, or mineral water. But you leave them in water for 3 days and 3 nights, right? To erase any former memories, you know, whether, say, if this was owned by some, I don't know, fat cat from New York or something, like, I wouldn't want to carry his memories around, would I, or his environment in my world. So you do this, you leave it, and you know, there's no divination going on, guys, right? You leave it in water to soak like that, right? I'm going to talk about this subject in more detail on other videos, right? But I'm just using this as a taster. I just want to show you something, an experiment, right? And look, the usual routine with stones is I don't do it as much as I used to, guys. I'm not like as you know, but I still got reverence for, like, rubies, sapphires, whatever, because that's what the rich folks have always been using against us, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's their medium, not ours. I don't bling, you know what I mean? Mingers, not blingers, that's my motto. Mingers, not blingers, you know what I mean? I'd rather someone goes, oh, look at the state of him, scruffy little tramp, than go like, woo, look at his bling, look at his ring, woo. But anyway, little ruby, it's been in that water for like 3 days, right? Well, it's been in there for ages. I've left it for ages, right? You know what I mean? But as long as it's over 3 days and 3 nights, you can be rest assured that the memory in that stone is going to be like erasing the tape, like demagnetizing the videotape, right? And then the next routine is you take it out of the water, and while it's still wet, you give it some candlelight to the point that you heat the stone up and you dry all the... And what that does is, if there's going to be any light in that stone, it's going to be pure. It's not going to be from a spotlight. It's not going to be from a torch. It's not going to be from a secret umbrella in orbit around the Earth that aims the beams of the sun down on the streets at night time to make you think it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning. You get that, like, guys, you know? Don't know if any of you have heard about the infamous Russian reflective umbrella that used to be like in orbit. You know what I mean? Reflecting the sunlight to save money. The original idea was to save money on electric lights in the streets in Moscow. So they had this umbrella, like a big mirror, aiming light on the streets of Moscow. And then they learnt loads of things by it, and then one thing's led to another, and everyone's at it now, you know what I mean? But anyway, I've got to put light into this so there's no darkness, right? Before I seal it up in a nice little warm little pouch or something, right? So what you do is you use a candle and you illuminate the stone with candlelight, right? Now, by years of experience of me doing this kind of thing, like to stones, you know, putting the light in, that's the electricity, that's the light, that's the natural sunlight you'll see inside that stone, etc., etc., right? There's no witchcraft, there's no divination. You know, if it gets to that point, it'd be like, where'd you draw the line? If you were a vicar in a wedding, would you say to the bride, I'm not letting you wear that engagement ring here, it's got a diamond or a ruby or a sapphire in it or whatever, like, that's divination. Where'd you draw the line, guys, you know what I mean? All this sell-it stuff's got to stop, you know what I mean? But anyway, got to get a move on. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stone out of the water and give it candlelight, and I need the camera setting on candlelight, and I've never tried this before, you see, and I'll zoom into it so you can see the stone by the candle. And I want to show you the energy between the stone and the candle, what happens. Remember, this has been submerged in water for like a long time, and that's pure fire, pure heat, pure raw energy, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim the camera at the candle, right, and I'm going to show you something. I've got a little clear table in there from the candle's burning. It's only a little tiny candle, but it should work. It should be a bigger flame, really, you know what I mean, but it should work. But anyway, let's go. Let's see the candle. Want to see a candle? There's a candle. Right, so I'm not zoomed in, am I? Okay. Alright, there's the candle there on the table, right? Now, I want to get a good zoom in on that so you can see the flame. Right? Let's get it focused. Okay, now I need to turn the light off, okay, folks? Gotta be quick, gotta be quick. Alright, the light is off, you can see the candle there, right? Right, now here's the fun part. I'm just doing what I usually do, right? I'm taking the stone out of the water, right? Just reaching into the jar. I'm getting this, it's pure ruby. I don't know if it could be synthetic, I don't know. This works with any stone, rocks, agates, you name it, you know. I don't know, slate, anything. Anything will do this, right? Right, so just trying to get the thing out the jar, it's awkward. Wake up. Alright, the stone is still wet, right? There it is. You can probably just about make out that it's quite transparent. It's quite a nice little ruby, see? It's in its raw state, it needs to be polished, right? It's not like, you know, it's in a kind of raw heat treatment state, you know, it's actually been melted, the stone, whatever it was. Now I'm going to start heating it up, right? Now watch this, guys, watch this. I'm just heating the stone up over candlelight. And you spin it around, watch you don't burn your fingers. Remember, I'm looking at the camera here, so if I burn my fingers or anything. Right? And what the aim is to make the stone evaporate, all the water off the stone evaporate down to the candlelight. Right, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Right? And I want this stone to be completely dry at my fingertips. I'll show you it again how transparent it is. You see that? It's quite a nice quality little rock, you know what I mean? I can polish it up to something nice, you know what I mean? Some kind of Salvador Dali thing, like. Right. Now I'm turning the stone around and I'm just picking up candlelight. It doesn't have to make contact with the flame, you know what I mean? But I try to if I can. If it was a bigger flame, I'd make a bit more contact with the flame. Alright? Now, the stone is starting to dry now, and all the moisture's going from it, right? It's starting to dry. So it's going to get like what we call arid, you know, like a desert. You need the arid Remember, there's been enough water in there. It's been soaked in water for nearly, I don't know, for nearly a month, to be honest. I've left it on my windowsill for ages. Right? Okay, I'm heating it up. Right? And where's the bit I want to show you guys? Watch this energy between the stone and the flame. Right, watch. I don't know if it'll show, like, but I'm just going to move the stone, like as if I'm pulling it away. Watch what happens to the flame. See where it's moving? See the energy? See where it's moving, right? Now, I'm going to go quite far. Look, I'm moving it and it's making the flame move, look. See the way the flame's moving? Look, I'm moving the stone, look, I'm wobbling it rapidly. And the flame's moving rapid. Right, now I'll move it to, like, say 6 inches away. Now I don't know if you can really make it out, like, but it's... You see what it does? It draws the flame. Not creating any wind here, guys. I'm not creating any drafts or nothing, like. I'm just moving the stone rapidly. Right, so it needs a bit more heat. The flame's a bit too small. I need a bigger flame, really, for you to see it better, like, but you can more or less see it, can't you? Like, here we go. Get the stone hot again. To the point that's nearly burning my fingertips, you know what I mean? But it's got enough candlelight in. I can put the stone away and put it in a little pouch or whatever. You put it in a nice warm place for a couple of days, you know what I mean, after you put the candlelight in it, right? No divination, folks, right? Right, I'm going to pull this, look, I'm quite close to it, but I'm not actually making contact, but you can see, it's even below the level of the jar. It's even below the neck of the jar, this jar with this. That's glass, that, like, right? I'm even here, look. I'm pulling the stone, it's like a piece of string pulling on the flame. You see it? You see that? Like an energy. And I assure you, folks, I'm not creating a draft. If it was a bigger candle, you'd see it more drastically. Right. See, all I'm doing is just moving this stone in the vicinity. And look what it's doing to the flame. Right? Imagine what the Earth does to the sun. Or what Mercury does to the sun. Or what the moon does to the sun. Do you understand? But look, I'm not causing any drafts. You see the way that flame is moving, like dancing. Just, yeah, I'll stop moving the stone. It stops. Move the stone. You see that? I'm about 3-4 inches away from it. See, about 5 inches now. See it moving? Right, I'll stop moving. Right? Completely stopped. Move again. I'm about 6 inches away now. Look, it's out of the shot. Go close again. It has to be zoomed in, doesn't it, you see? I'm zooming it out so you can see that I'm not right next to it. You know. Okay? Now, can you see that, guys? That the flame, there's something in the stone, even though they're not connected. Because I've used that flame, that particular raw flame, to dry this stone and get rid of all the moisture and make it warm again, you know what I mean? And there we go, it's like a nice little stone as well, like. Now, try it yourselves, guys, if you want to try it yourselves with any stone, any rock. But you do this, like, you know, you sort of draw it away like that. Catch it first, you catch it, look, catch the energy like that with the stone. Then move it away gradually. And look. There's an invisible energy between the stone and the flame. Can anyone explain that? And I assure you, I'm not making any drafts or blowing it or anything like that. I'm just moving the stone rapidly. Look. Rapidly, rapidly. Stop. Rapidly. Okay. That's me. That's me mind-blowing experiment to show, but I could have done with a bigger candle, guys, you know what I mean, to be honest, like. Well, you know. Just have one more shot of it. The flame's definitely getting lower, isn't it? Before we put it in a nice cozy dark place. There you go, you can see it's a ruby. Okay. One more time. Energy between the stone and the flame. And then when I put that away now, right, what I normally do is, right, the stone's in my hand, keep it in darkness. Zoom back the camera quick. Okay, so that was a demonstration, right, folks, of the strange kinetic energy, between a stone, a rock, and its source, the flame, the star, the sun, whatever you want to call it, the light source. There's a kinetic energy there, like there is with, like, between the moon and the sun and the earth and the sun. There's a energy field there, like, that's a natural raw flame. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit more later, talking about the stones and talking about my interest in them and what I found in them and whatever, like. Don't get me wrong, guys, don't get me, like, mixed up with the guy that used to make the crown jewels for the royal family and stuff, like sceptres and orbs and all that, like, you know what I mean? Don't be mixing me up with them fallen angels, mate. Alright, I'm getting off. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think below, guys. Where's the pause button? Where's the pause button? There's the pause button. Okay, put my stone away now for like a couple of days, and then when I get it out, it'll be supercharged with nice pure light. And where's the pause button? And water. You know what I mean? Water, energy, whatever, like. Alright, thanks for watching.